Hey there, Vanagon addicts. This is Ken Wolford here at Vanagon. How you guys doing? I hope everyone can join us in this live stream. I had set up a different live stream earlier. I was experimenting earlier, so some of you guys were having a little fun at my expense, saying, hey, that was an awesome video, when it was just like some gray static, because I spent pretty much the entire day setting up the live stream, having things rigged up so that we could do some cool stuff. I started using a new program. I had everything I thought ready until I actually went to do the event itself, and then nothing would happen in work. So I had to go back at the last possible second, which is right now, go back and just use Hangouts. So for all you YouTubers out there, I say just use Hangouts. Because every time I try to spend time trying to make a nice professional, looking YouTube experience thing, it's super difficult and hard to do for no apparent reason whatsoever. Very confusing. Cut and paste little word things here and there and stuff. So YouTube, I hate you, and please die. Okay. So let's get beyond my anger and rage and move on to fun things, which is why we're here to talk about stuff. So I do have some cool stuff to talk about today. One of the number one thing that we're going to talk about first is the cookies. Okay, cookies. So I was online the other day looking at bus-related thingamadoodlers, and one of the things I've been thinking about for a little while is VW cookies.
That's the best one right there. You gotta angle
so I'm going to angle it because this light is brighter than the sun on Krypton. So this is a VW bus cookie my daughter made. We got the cookie cutter / mold thingamadoodler from Amazon.
It was 3D printed.
This dude on there 3D prints them out, and then you can make your own cookies. So I was kind of thinking about possibly in the future, I have, people that make cookies and things, making some of these and even shipping them to people if people wanted them. Okay. So just think about it. If it's something you might want to do, it would be a way for us maybe to like do some fundraising. This is just a prototype cookie. So, it's got some little edges. You get trimmed off a little bit. Like that. I trim that down. It's all part of the prototype process.
Yeah. I mean, the cookie cutter works good. Need to use a different dough recipe.
I had to, trim that a little bit.
They're pretty good.
Now it's like a convertible. So you got the wind in your face.
Or it looks like that one.
No, now it's like one of that bar thing.
The bar.
From the Brissa stuff. So this is just an idea that we did. I thought it'd be fun for you guys to see these cool VW bus cookies. And, like I said, you can buy the mold yourself, but I have some people, like, there's this one girl who's, like, super professional. She could, like, ice this thing and make it look like a real bus. And you could buy maybe, like, a dozen of them for some kind of a special bus or van get-together thing you're going to have. I mean, I just thought it might be a thing. I know there's another place out there that does give cookies with their parts. I'm not going to mention them on my live stream, but maybe we could give some of these cookies to people if they support us on Patreon or something like that.
Ooh, yes.
It's a possible to, help encourage people to do that. Okay, so we got 3 people right now. So we got Eric Schneider, Chris Snyder, and the third person that I can never remember their name. But his just as important as the other 2. It's not more so, I don't know. So I'm eating this right now to make you hungry. And or thirsty for coffee.
That one's actually the best looking one. The other one's kind of went off.
It's still there. See the Volkswagen logo.
Yeah.
I haven't ate that yet. Volkswagen lawyers, don't get too mad. No, too late. You can't sue me. for copyright infringement and things. Okay. So this is one thing, the cookie deal. Actually, I had all this stuff lined up today. I really was proud of myself. Learning about video things. And all day long. Maybe what we'll have to do one day is just do like a bunch of live streams. Because, you know, just for me to practice. I mean, I don't understand why you would make like doing a live stream like launching a space shuttle or something. Like, okay, we have to like fuel the hydrogen tanks. No. And then we gotta like, you know, move it onto the launch pad. And then you gotta like do all this other stupid crap. Okay, now launch. Right? Why would you do that to people? So dumb.
I mean, you know,
so
people don't realize YouTubing is hard.
It's hard because they make it hard on purpose for no reason.
Mm-hmm.
You know, this Hangouts, this works, but it's so primitive. Like, you can't switch between screens or do any of that other stuff.
There's no smooth transitioning between this and the desktop screen. Like,
so it's just not as nice. So if you guys are out there, we don't have a lot of viewers right now, 3 viewers. Possibly because I also was sending out links to the live stream
that didn't work.
all day to different people, groups, and things, telling them to join us. And guess what? None of those links actually lead to this live stream because I had to like totally create a new one, and so that other link is garbage. So that's probably why we don't have a lot of people on here. I mean, later on, people will all message me like, "Oh, what? I was trying to watch, but the link went to nothing." Like, yeah, that's thinking YouTube's fault. Okay, so that's all I got to say about that. Let me move on.
Your ranting is over.
The ranting is officially... Whoop, okay. All right, so other cool stuff without ranting would be something that, I don't know, I don't like it, but you might like it. So I'm going to share it with you, and then you can decide if you like it or if you don't like it. Okay, see the screenception? That wasn't supposed to be happening today. See these 2 stupid things? Yeah, boom. All right, rant is over. All right, so this is one thing that, for whatever reason, I guess because the internet knows I'm a Volkswagen van crazy person, this thing here has come up in my newsfeed the entire week. And so, again, I have to put it out here so that it can go out somehow, the newsfeed disposal chute at the other end eventually. That's my theory, that if you talk about it, then it can leave and go on to haunt others. So this is the 1967 VW van gets a Back to the Future makeover. Somebody took a 67 bus and chopped into it and made it have these gull wing doors that look ridiculous to me. And then they painted it these colors to make it look like a DeLorean for some reason. I really don't know why.
What the heck are those bucket? Is that a bucket seat?
It has this weird racing bucket seat thing that swivels or something in the back.
Ugh.
And then it has a TV. What? Why not? Right? Why not? Because reasons. And then on top of that, and the piece de resistance.
Oh my gosh, no!
Is this, you know,
they replicated the thing.
Somewhat replicated time circuit from the Back to the Future DeLorean. But again, I don't really understand like what this whole thing is all about. We have a regular bus engine back here. So FYI, getting up to 88 miles an hour is even slightly less possible than a real DeLorean, which is, yeah, kind of questionable. This 100% no. Okay, so no 88 miles an hour. In the movie, it was a bay window bus, not a split window bus. So I really don't know. And they're selling this car for like $90,000. Okay, all I gotta say is good luck. I mean, somebody was doing this for themselves as some kind of a Back to the Future, you know, homage or whatever. That's great, but why are you trying to sell it to me? Because, yeah, I'm not into it. All right, so that's a micro rant. That's not a real rant. Okay, so that I thought you guys might be interested in that. You get a chance to take a look at it. It just says, you know, 67 VW van. You can search it. That's how it was coming up my feed all week, and I just did a little quick search. There is a kind of a cool bus I was also looking at. I don't know if you ever heard of this place called Icon Derelict. They do basically kind of sort of restorations of classic cars. So in this situation, we have I believe it's a 67 bus as well. It's just a 7-passenger. And you can see they don't repaint them. They keep the outside original. This was, I think, a 2-owner van. And then this super rich person bought it. And thankfully, they didn't crap it up too bad. But basically, what they did was the Icon stuff, they basically like make it into a real car that you can drive and not, like, I don't know, some of you guys I know have had VW buses in the past. Like, even some of you guys have had split window buses. They are super sick and horrible. Like, they look awesome. They'll have a nice look. I love the look of them. But actually driving one is akin to driving a golf cart in a hurricane. Okay, so it rides terrible. Tons of noise, vibration, harshness, all the stuff that you don't really want. And so this car is the exact opposite of that. This car has a VW Jetta engine in the back, and it can easily go down the highway, you know, at high speeds and not be a problem. They've got some cool, like a table in here, which I thought was kind of nice. They do a lot of cool stuff when they do these Derelict Icon things. They're basically upgrades. One of the really cool things I saw, they have actually air conditioning under the back seat and in the front, which I thought was pretty neat. And of course, they have a nice sound system. But one of the things I thought was awesome was they're using this thing called Out of Sight Sound, which I'd never heard of before. And it's an American company. They make, I'm trying to see if I can see it in the slideshow here. They make a sound system for classic cars that you see there's no radio. Okay, and they made this little grill here. This is actually an AC vent now, but there's no radio, and yeah, it has radio speakers. You can see that. And so they have this little unit. It's called Out of Sight Sound that allows you to actually connect into the sound system with your phone. Here's the engine and stuff. And you can stream the sound stuff from your phone, like your different apps and whatnot. You can control the radio, quote unquote radio, from your phone. And that way you don't actually have to have like the radio head. Like, to me, the radio head is the most annoying part of putting in a radio, because you have to have it there on the dash. You have to cut the dash, you have to modify the dash, and do different things that I hate, because it's kind of wrecking it for the next person. So with this out of sight audio, you don't have to do any of that. That's the good part of it. The bad part is it's like $300. Yeah, which is a lot. So I'm going to look into it. Maybe I can come up with something that's cheaper that would do the same thing. But it's a really cool idea. I don't see any pictures of it in the slideshow. I saw it in the video. So if you go on YouTube and you search for the Icon Derelict, VW bus, it'll bring it up, and you can see they talk about it for a short segment of time. Also, this bus has a somewhat cool feature, which is this ARB roof tent. I was kind of aware of this product, but not 100% aware. And you basically put it up on your rack of whatever, and then you have your tent on the top. So that would be nice for, a hardtop Vanagon, because I'm trying to think like how that would be on this car. They've beefed up the suspension and did different things on the suspension of this car. I mean, if you had that on a regular original bus, every time you moved, the whole thing would be jiggling around like Jello and stuff. So yeah, that would be weird. But on a Vanagon, it would be a little bit nicer. It looks like they have some Bilstein shocks and different things on this, so maybe it's pretty stable. You can see here, this is the Jetta engine. It actually is just a ABA motor from like a 97 Jetta or something, which that's the one I love. It's just they're getting hard to find now. So that's a nice thing to look at, this Icon. Get a chance to take a look at them. Jay Leno, you know, talked about them on his show a lot. So here in the office, we've been getting stuff done this week. We have been installing more shelves because we're going to be bringing in more inventory and having more stuff for sale. One of the things I wanted to talk about a little bit is a new pop top canvas that we have for sale at the moment. I actually have 2 of these on the shelf, and these are made in Europe. They're 3-window. The ones I have at the moment are tan, and you can kind of see right now this one has some wrinkles in it. I think as it gets wet and dried, they should iron themselves out over time. But one of the things that's nice about this particular canvas is that it goes on, it installs pretty easily because it's a little bit looser than the standard one. Like, actually, I'll tell you the truth. My experience with VW canvases is very difficult. Okay, I mean, I've installed probably 10 or 15 of them over the years. There's been times when I am in the midst of doing the job and I am praying for death. And that is not an exaggeration. Okay? You got to put these things on. You put the top thing on. It won't reach in the corners. You're stretching it as hard as you can. You go to the middle, go to the edge, corner, will not reach. Then you finally get that attached. You got to do the bottom, exact same thing. The thing is so taut, you could play like the snare drums on it and everything like that when you finally get it done. And you know, you're like, oh, that's great and everything. Yeah, but what if it shrinks? Right? What if it shrinks at all? That could never happen, except, yeah, it would super happen. So, you know, having it slightly looser, to me, is a little bit better than super tight. And so that's what these are. I actually have 2 on the shelf at the moment. They're both the tan ones. They both are 3-window, and they both work for like 84 to 91 that had the metal strips at the top. Okay, so you have to check to make sure your top. If you have an 84, look up there, see how the top is attached. If it has the metal strips, these will work with it. If it doesn't have the metal strips, it has staples and like a plastic strip, it will not work with it. We have them on our site for right now for $2.99. I actually only have 2 available. Okay, so if you want them, go ahead and order them, and I will send them right out. But I only have 2 at the moment. And $2.99 is an awesome price for a pop top canvas. I don't know if you've been searching around, but these ones are really nice. So just want to let you know about that. But the other thing that I had all lined up as a slideshow and was going to show you earlier, and I'm going to now have to completely Bobo it up and do it Bobo style. Okay, so get ready for the Bobo to come. Is this exciting thing? Oh my gosh, what the heck? All right, hold on. Let's try to unbobo this. Okay, is exciting news. Are you ready? Okay, you're ready. All right, let's do it. You see these headlights? Okay, these headlights are H4 square headlights. Ignore this tape, because we're not going to need that. H4 headlights. Okay, and what the super awesome announcement is that we talked about this company in Europe that's having them made as an aftermarket headlight for the square headlight Vanagon. That is finally completed, and they will be ready to sell in January. Okay, now how they're going to be sold is in a full set. So you get 2 outer H4 headlights, you get 2 inner H3 headlights. They're actually going to be mounted onto backing plates. Here is a picture right here. Look, bam. Okay, that is what this is what you're actually going to be getting. Okay, so you're going to be getting these headlights. They're going to be mounted onto a backing plate with all the adjusters and everything. And so if you have a round headlight van, you can buy this and a grill and do a retrofit. Okay, if you have a square headlight van and you're like, my lights are so dim, I can't see anything. Guess what? These are H4. So the nice part about the H4, they never sold them here in the US. Okay, here in the US, we had the DOT version of the light, which was actually made to diffuse the light and make it not as bright. Okay, they're worried about blinding people, oncoming traffic, whatever. So instead, they want you to hit a deer, drive off the road of a canyon, you know, all that great stuff that's supposed to save lives. Right? I mean, I don't understand the logic of it, but the DOT lights that we have here, everyone pretty much agrees they stink, and no matter how great they are, they never seem to be bright enough. And really, the main reason is the lens. The lens of the light does not allow it to focus properly. Instead, it diffuses it. So this H4 ball headlights, they were only available ever in Europe. Okay, in Germany. I actually have a pair on my blue van, my blue 91 Karat, and I will tell you that just this light housing all by itself will make your headlight situation 100 times better than the DOT ones ever were. Then we're going to get an LED bulb to go in there, and these things are going to be awesome. Okay, so these are going to be coming out in January. If you're interested in it, you can email me or message me off of the broadcast. They are also coming out with 2 different grills, brand new grills you can also purchase if you want to do a retrofit, or you just want to say, hey, I want this cool, you know, D-branded grill. Bam, I can sell it to you. I had this all in a slideshow, but, you know, no ranting. And then, or I want a brand new regular grill that has an emblem in it, a Volkswagen emblem in it, or a peace emblem, or whatever kind of emblem. We can have that too. And if you have the round lights, I can make it as a kit, and you can have the 2 things together. So, you know, here's some of the actual lights actually installed on an actual reel for reels. Oh, it's a Vanagon camper thing. Okay, Carmen camper. But that's cool. And you can tell it's from Europe because we've never had them either. You know, these are the actual lights, and they are going to be available in January. So if you want to do some pre-order, I'm actually going to be pre-ordering probably at least 20 sets of these so that I will have a bunch. But I say a bunch if they sell like the stock lights. So now we've been selling the stock headlights. We have the outer ones $125 each, the inner ones $100 each. They're all used. So you do the math. Okay, that's like over $450 worth of lights that we've been selling as used items. And believe me, man, people beg me to sell these things to them because they have a you know, rock hit, they have this, they have that. These new ones, I think, are actually going to be about the same amount of money as the used ones. And it's going to come with all the adjusters. Guess what? That's another $100. Okay, so yeah, it's going to be a great deal, and I think 20 sets of them is going to fly out of here like, you know, that bus with a jet end motor in it. So if you want these, okay, get on the list. I've already committed to buying 20 sets, and I think they're going to be going. Now, also, if you're going to buy one, you can see this is also the company that I've teamed up with to make the headlight protectors. Okay, so you would definitely want to buy a set of these. I still have about 18 sets of them left, and you know, I could be supplying them to people who are buying the headlights as well, because you definitely don't want any of this stuff to get broke. It's so expensive, and if you have these on there, it will never get broke, and you won't have to ever call me and say my stuff got broken. Wham, I'm crying now. Wham, wham, wham. All right, so that was another thing I wanted to tell you guys about. I spent a lot of time on it because it's super awesome, and I'm very, very excited about those lights. Okay, so let me continue on. Let me go back to where you can see me again, hopefully. Let's go back to this. Oh, we're going to do that thing. Oh, I forgot. I can just do that. Okie doke. So now there's 6 people that are still with me. Thank you, guys. I'm sorry about that long-windedness, man, but I'm so excited about these lights. This is something that's been in the pipeline for about 4 years. I've been kind of helping out with it a little bit and just encouraging them, cheering them on to get this project done, because one day we were going to run out of the square headlights, and then everybody was going to, it was going to be a sad day. I mean, the other thing I will say, the South African grill kit is nice. It looks nice, but the quality level of the actual grill is crap. Everybody that has ever had one is like, oh my God, this thing. And then they go to put it on like, whoa, this is like my Wawa coffee cup ×2 thickness. Will it go on? Yes, but then when I take it off, I have to pull it off. Yeah, let me do that twice and see if it don't break. All right, I've never broken one, but I've seen them be broken. And, you know, it's a weird design. I mean, these new ones, they're going to use the same Zeus fasteners and all that stuff. All right, let me continue on. Another thing I wanted to kind of talk about is that I'm going to be having a clearance sale here at Vanagon. I have got new shelves. I'm excited about the new shelves. We are taking things and reorganizing things because really we have so much stuff here now. It's like falling off the shelves. Every time I walk by, I'm knocking off stuff. And part of that, though, too, is I want to get rid of some of this stuff. I have got some stuff here that's been here forever, and it needs to go bye-byes. I have a 1993 Eurovan 2-person middle seat that needs to go. If you want it, come here, and I will give it to you, and you can have it. It is in really nice condition. I could not bring myself to throw it away like 10 years ago. But now that it's been sitting here and taking up space all this time, I'm ready for it to leave.
I mean, the seat, they're not ripped. They're just
it's in great shape.
Just need to be swept off a little bit.
Yeah, there's nothing. I also have a set of the rear-facing jump seats that are from a Eurovan, okay, from a 93 MV Eurovan. I have a set of them. I just want, like, give me a nice donation of any money whatsoever, and you can have that. Because it's taking up space. And I'm trying to maximize space. We have got just so much different items here. So I'm going to make a list of stuff, and maybe we'll do like a little clearance sale. We'll talk about stuff online. Oh, here is actually that canvas. I showed you all those pictures of it on the website, but here it is in real life. Okay, it's a nice one, and it's got nice stitching and nice, you know, all that stuff is good. The screen is good. Everything's good. Okay, so definitely something to consider. And let's continue on. So the website, okay, a lot of you guys use the website. Thank you for that. Right now it's being upgraded. It's being worked on behind the scenes. If you run into any problems or issues with it, let me know, and I will tell my people. But hopefully that will be getting upgraded very soon. They're fixing all the issues in the background. And then the next stage would be to maybe upgrade the look or change the look of it, make that nicer. Okay, so let me know on that. And then I didn't even ask you, do we have any things in the comments?
Just people showing up. Steve Ritter's back. Billy's here. Who did
Billy Shepherd.
Tell us his name before. I can't remember.
Let's see. Copier dude, person man.
Was it Mark?
I can't remember. Yeah, it was Mark. I think he was here last week, right?
Yeah, it was Mark. And of course, you know, your favorite Greek teenager.
Costas is here. He's so exciting. And I even told all my Patreon people, like, oh, definitely show up for them. None of them are here, but whatever.
Yeah, it is Mark. Mark confirmed.
There you go. See, I remember things.
I thought it was
things
Mark.
in my brain
I just wanted to make sure before I said it like out loud because I don't like to make mistakes with people's names. It's embarrassing, and I don't want to like offend you.
That's no problem. That's no problem. All right, so another thing you guys might want to check out sometime on YouTube when you get a chance, VW Electric Bus World Tour. Okay, it's these two French people that are building a Synchro Vanagon Westie with Tesla battery packs and also Tesla, I believe it's going to be a Tesla engine on there. So you get a chance to check that out. I would definitely encourage it. Yes, what are they laughing at now? Costas.
No, Billy. Billy says, Leah, get my part shipped. LOL.
That's going to happen, Billy. Believe me. All right. And then another thing that we're talking about, we talked about the solar panel thing. I'm still working on that. But we're also working on possibly a lithium battery to go into the campers. So you can have something that's going to last longer and also have some more amp hours and be lighter and all that good stuff. So that's another thing that's in the pipeline. If anybody has any advice on that or whatever, let me know. But I'm working on that, the lithium ion thing. Like, basically what I'm seeing is there's batteries I can buy straight from China that are for electric cars over there, because apparently electric cars are a thing in China. And so they have these batteries, but I need to like make sure the dimensions are going to fit into the battery boxes, and also they're going to actually be good batteries. So that's a thing that's going to be a process to work that out. But I think it would be great if you had solar panels with the lithium batteries, because the lead acid batteries are fine, but they don't really hold up too great. Okay? Especially with discharging and recharging all the time and all that stuff. It's just not really the best ever.
Billy says Steve today needs a house battery.
Yeah, he needs a house battery. I mean, we're thinking about this lithium thing, but I don't know exactly when it's going to happen. Like, it's still very, very preliminary. Okay, doke. All right, so, and then we can talk about the crazy phone calls. We could have a little segment on that crazy phone calls I get.
No ranting.
But I'm not going to rant. I didn't bring in my special phone either. I was going to use the special phone today for the phone calls I get.
Crap.
I'll tell you a crazy phone call I got 1 minute before we're going to do live stream. Hey, is Peter there? I'm like, is Chris there? I'm like, no, I've never had a Chris work here ever. Isn't this a place called Volks Cafe? No. Okay, that's happened a few times. I'm not sure how Van Again and Van, I mean, I guess it's kind of similar. Van Cafe, Van Again is a little similar. That's happened a couple of times. I have people call me that are just dreamers, which I respect dreamers. Okay, I respect dreamers, and I like people that have ideas and put out thoughts. Okay, there's a guy, Mike, right now. He's putting out thoughts and ideas, and that's perfectly fine with me. I enjoy that. And he's actually did some things. Like, see, that impresses me a little bit more. Like, if you're just going to come up with ideas and never try to implement them, I mean, anybody can do that, right? And so if you have ideas and then you try to test them out, see if they work, that's very impressive. So I've had people that call me, they're just complete dreamers. They're like, hey, man, what I want to do is I want to have solar panels on the roof that while I'm driving down the road, they're powering the car, and that's how it's going to work. I'm like, okay. I'm like, you do know that if this was possible, we would all be driving this. Like, they don't know how electricity works. They don't know how solar panels work. They don't know how, like, anything works. And so I tell them, like, listen, and, you know, this isn't, no, it'll work. It will work. It's going to work. Like, see how it works is, and they start explaining it to me. And I mean, they have zero idea of what they're talking about. And, you know, I have to listen. Yep, okay, all right, yep. So, I mean, you know, this is some of the calls I get that are a little strange. And then we get all done. Like, 30 minutes has went by. I haven't sold any parts. I haven't helped anyone. I just listened to, I don't know if this guy like smoked a doobie real quick and then called me on the phone and was like having like little dreams from that, or what happened. But yep, that happens sometimes.
Mark says perpetual motion is awesome. Don't kill the dream.
I know. And when I was a kid, see, I used to draw perpetual motion machines. And when I started doing it and showing it to my dad, he had to sit there and be like, son, this won't work. But then he said, but when I was your age, I did the exact same thing. Okay. But that lasted till I was about 10. Okay. Then I got to the point where I was like, you know what? I'm going to trust Dad on this one, because, you know, he's smart and he can actually build things and make things. He knows it doesn't work, so I believe it's not going to work. But, you know, there are definitely things that will work. I mean, people have thought outside the box and made things happen. But it takes actually getting out there, testing it out, seeing if it works. Don't just throw it out there, right? Do it yourself. See if it'll work. You make your solar-powered Volkswagen Synchro that never needs to be charged van and prove me wrong. Bam. Or just smoke another one and think up something else. I don't know. I mean, that's, you know. I mean, that's the bad part. That's where we're at now, unfortunately, is I want to smoke doobies. I don't, but other people do. and then just accomplish nothing with my life. Okay, that's sad, right? It's sad, but that just happened a couple days ago. People voted for that. Nice. Okay, thanks everyone for that situation. Next generation, have fun cleaning that crap up. All right, so slight political rant. Okay. And for you kids at home, say no to drugs. All right, you want to do Nancy Reagan?
Do hugs, not drugs.
Give hugs, not drugs. Be cool, stay in school, and take a bite out of crime. All right. That's my PSA for the week. All right, do we got any questions? I've been talking nonstop for way too long.
There's somebody here, Nander Sign Frames, says, "Hi Ken, what types of exhausts are there that help with performance, or is there no such thing on a Vanagon?"
Well, there used to be a company called S&S Headers, and they sold a performance header that was supposed to give you some kind of slight performance enhancement. It was like an extractor system. I sold those for probably 15 years, and S&S Headers was like a company that everybody knew. They advertised a lot in the VW community. They made stuff for Bugs, Things, Carmen Gias, all that stuff. And sadly, one day I put in an order for like some more headers and gave them the money, and then I never got anything. So I called up on the phone, no answer. And I think it might have even said the phone was disconnected. So, I'm a cyber stalker. I like to cyber stalk. And, so all of you guys that are on here right now, I will cyber stalk you later. So just FYI. But so I went on Google Maps. I looked up the business, S&S Headers. I saw where their place was on Google Maps. And right across the street was another shop. So I called them up. I said, "Hey, guys, I said, I have to ask you a weird question. You're across the street from S&S Headers. What is up with them? Because, I ordered stuff from them. And, what's going on?" And so they're like, their door is chained closed. Their door is chained closed. They are gone. There's nothing going on over there. And, yeah, that's pretty much what's going on. So basically what it was, the guy who ran it forever, like 30 years, just died. And his wife, instead of, refunding people their money and kind of doing that kind of stuff, she just closed everything and walked away. And I guess I donated $600 towards his funeral arrangements. If I did, then great. I hope it was a nice funeral. But I had, gave them some money. I never got anything. And I had been doing business with them for at least 10 years. I mean, we were actually had good. So that's a long story. But so S&S Headers was the only one I knew of that ever made any kind of performance exhaust for the Vanagon. That's pretty much it. And right now you can buy, regular exhaust. You can buy stainless steel. But as far as I know, you know what? There actually is possibly a system. I think Rocky Mountain Westy makes a system that might be considered performance. It's stainless steel. It's ridiculously expensive. I think it's like $1,200, and I've seen one of them here. So there's that. There you go.
It's actually Pete from Patreon.
Oh, hey, Pete. How you doing, man? Sorry, I didn't remember your last name. And I'm sad to say, Pete, I don't think I could send you a cookie because by the time I got to Australia, a dingo would have eaten your cookie. A dingo ate your cookie.
There's devious dingoes.
They're so bad that way. Or one of those bird things that rip your entrails out. I hope you don't get attacked by that bird that rips your entrails out. Because that would be bad. You have to get some duct tape. All right. But it's good to have Pete with us visiting from down under. I'm not gonna do that. Okay, so we're not gonna do the crocodile hunter. Okay.
Earlier, Billy had said you could actually sell warp drive switches. Don't mean it will work, but it'll look cool. For basically just dreamer stuff. Yeah, dreamers. Yeah, well, the dreamers, they dream. I mean, I'm kind of getting a little bit more into artsy fartsy stuff with the vans. I never really liked that side of it that much. But with the cookie thing,
We were looking at pillowcases the other day that had some cool designs on them. I thought about possibly buying some of these pillowcases that were had buses and like Christmas trees and things on it, and then maybe trying to sell that for Christmas presents.
They looked really cool. The thing about it though was like the pillowcases themselves were like $1 something. That wasn't bad. But then the shipping was literally twice the amount of the pillowcase.
And then it stacked. So pillowcases, I mean, they're like this thick, right? It doesn't have any pillow in it. They're like this thick. They weigh, I don't know, so many ounces or something. So $3, you're like, that's not bad. Then I'll buy 20, and then we'll, Leah and her mom and my wife can like actually make pillows out of it, because they weren't actual pillows, they were just cases. And we could maybe sell them on the store for like not that much money. I'm not going to go crazy. So I went to order like 20, and they're like, oh, that'll be like $60 in shipping. I'm like, what?
Yeah.
$60 for 20 pillowcases? Like something that's like maybe this high, and it might weigh a pound or something, versus $3 for one. It didn't make any sense. So I don't know, but it's something that we've been thinking about. Like I said, getting into the Brissa thing and supplying some of these, VW backpacks, and they have all kinds of cool like art things you can buy. We're thinking about doing that in the future. So yeah. I mean, there's no problem with Dreamers as far as I'm concerned.
Pete said he's good without the cookies. He says he's fat. He says he'll send you a video on that bird, my friend being attacked 16 times.
Oh my gosh!
Wow. Alrighty. That's a really aggressive bird.
I mean, I think Australians are a lot like Americans. We have our weapons because we need to defend ourselves. And originally, it was all about the environment. Like, we needed to defend ourselves from wolves and bears and all that kind of stuff. Now we got to defend ourselves from crazy people. But whatever, I'm not going to talk about that.
I feel like Australia.
But in Australia, it's like the same thing, except they're still more in the frontier stage, like because there's places there that's still wild and
snakes, giant
woolly,
spiders, killer birds.
Yeah. So I would just have a shotgun all the time. Like it would be like on my back, a little sling, and then whenever that bird would be around, like.
Like, okay, I'm gonna walk to the dollar store.
I got some of that bird for dinner tonight.
Grocery store. Let me just put my gun on my back to go to the grocery store.
It's like, honey, warm up the deep fryer because we're fixing to have some chicken, some seriously oversized chicken for dinner.
Steve Berger said, would you consider stocking vinyl pinstriping, like original looking stuff?
Vinyl pinstriping. So, like, that goes down the sides, you mean, on the outside?
I mean, I would assume that's where pinstriping goes.
I guess I could try it. I haven't really ever gotten a full handle on what was really out there originally. Like, the only thing I know of that was original was like on the 91s or 91s, they had a big gray stripe that went down the sides in that little kind of like groove that goes on the side of the van. Like that was original. Okay, but I've got a lot of vans here. Like I've gotten 82s, 83s, 84s, and 85s. I mean, this is all 80s situations where they had pinstriping. They had different things on it, but it looked like something that the dealer put on. You see what I'm saying? Like it was at the dealership. It was the 80s, and like, hey, you know what would look awesome on this? Some pinstriping to make it pop and sell it better. And I know dealers like to do stuff like that. So that's what I'm thinking. Like, I don't know if there was any actual factory pinstriping. Now, I have seen some that was for the Joker Westphalias in Germany, where it would be like a pinstriping and it would say Joker on the front door. Is that, maybe that's what you're talking about? But that's nothing that was ever sold here. Of course, some of the Synchros had, you know what, four-wheel drive or AWD, or they had Synchro on the nose. That was another kind of like a pinstripe type thing, like a decal. That's out there. So you tell me, if you want me to have pinstriping, let me know what kind it is, and if there's any kind of like diagram or something I can look at, you know, where it shows it, so I can get the actual part numbers or something. We can try to work it out. All right, let me take a look. Did I go over everything on my list? I had stuff on my list. Steve is sending me a stuff about the hidden Bluetooth stereo, so I will look at that later, definitely. I definitely appreciate that. Anything, like I said, because that would be awesome to me. I really don't like radios anymore. They annoy me.
Steve says, I've seen some nice body stuff. I'll try to find some photos.
Okay, yeah, send me some pictures. That would help me out. Try to figure out what's going on. All right, and yeah, I've got everything on here. I mean, I could talk about crazy phone calls till the cows come home.
I mean, I could talk about crazy customer interactions till the cows come home.
No.
But we're not going to talk about that. Then we'll have two.
She's not talking about here, though. See,
yeah,
she's talking about.
I'm talking about my old job.
Former job. When she worked for NASA.
Yes, I had some very interesting conversations with some aliens.
Space jockeys. No, she worked for another company, but we won't talk about that. All right, guys. So I guess if you don't have any more questions, we finally got our 12 viewers on that we normally have. And after they were probably sitting there waiting on those other bad links for 20 minutes, and we never showed up. So I apologize about that. Hopefully next week. I mean, today was slow here. I was like working on this all day. Oh, one question somebody had last week, and I'll talk about real fast before we go off. They were asking about this valve where you could turn your heat on and off. Okay, and I found an extra one I had sitting here. I bought this at Home Depot. And you can see the label right here. It says it's for PEX, which is a kind of like interior water piping thing. But the big thing is that it's 3/4, okay? And it's all brass. You can hook the hoses right on here for your front heater, and then you just turn it on and off. And you can see right through it. I can see through it. There you go. We'll see my eyeball. And then when you turn it, it's got a really nice little brass ball in there. I mean, it's really nice. And the action is smooth, everything. So let's see, where is it made? I would assume China, but I don't really see anything. But yeah, this is what I use to turn the front heater on and off. And so if you want to do that, like I said, you can just buy one of these. I think it's like $5 or something from Home Depot. It's the lower of the two hoses. You just cut it, put this in line, have the handle so that it's where you can actually access it, and then when it's off, you can't even see the handle because it's hidden behind that valance thing, and when it's on, you can just barely see the end of it sticking out, and then it's not annoying, and you can remember it. Oh yeah, I need to shut that off now because it's summertime and I'm getting sweaty. Okay, all right, anything else before we take off here for the weekend?
Jackbox just says thanks. It was me that had asked.
Okay, yeah, I mean, I try to answer questions. I mean, again, if you guys have any questions, if you guys have any advice on how to do the YouTube thing better, you know, right now I would like to be able to promote the videos, send links out even a week ahead of time to let people know this is fixing to happen. Come here to this time, click on this link, and it'll take you right there. And my problem I keep running into is that when I actually go to start the live stream, there's always some kind of extra step or something that messes it all up. And then I can't do it that way. And I have to go back to Google Hangouts, which, you know, I've been using the entire time. It takes you 1 whole second to learn how to use it, and then you just use it. But you can't send out the links ahead of time. That's the stupid part. So if you guys have any insight into that or help for that, please let me know, and I would definitely implement it in the future. All right, I guess that's everything from this week. Like I said, if you're interested in those square headlights and you want to get in on the ground floor of that situation, you can message me or call me. Or not, no, don't call me right now. Call me next week. You can message me or email me over the weekend, and I will put you on the list, okay, because it's going to be pretty awesome. This is actually the second iteration of it they got. The first iteration was terrible, and they had to send them back. But that's how you get the bugs worked out of stuff. Actually, they were good, but where they had put the mounting points on like a mirror image of where they were supposed to be. So they had to send them all back. Like, hey, guys, guess what? You did it wrong. Do it over. So that's what's going on this week at Vanagon. Please like, share, subscribe. To all you guys that are watching it either later today or tomorrow, Hope you guys have a great weekend and have a good time with your van. I know the weather's not the best. Like, it's been pretty nice. It's been, the last couple of days, kind of chilled. But hope you guys have a great weekend. Hope you get more smiles per gallon with your Vanagon. And enjoy your weekend, guys. Thanks for stopping by, and we will see you next week. Same bat time, same